LakelandCarKeys.com. We're currently working on a 2013 Chevrolet Sonic. It has this E78 PCM. The mechanic that's working on it believes the PCM is bad, so we're going to clone this PCM to a brand new GM unit that he has, and we're going to be using the OBDSTAR DC706. Alright, so in the OBDSTAR, we're going to go into ECU flasher. We're going to select ECM. Alright, then we could select brand, scroll up to Chevrolet, and then we're going to go through the modules, and the AC Delco E78 is what we have. Alright, so I can select E78 and then go look at the pinout. We're going to go in bench mode. Alright, so then it'll give me an image of what the PCM should look like. And I can just verify that I have the same PCM. And then go to image 2 and it'll give me the pinouts. So there's 5 connections we got to make, 2 powers, a ground, a can high, and a can low. So I'm going to go ahead. I am using the P004 adapter, and I'm going to go ahead and make those connections, and then we can connect to the PCM. Alright, so I have all the pins connected. I have the power turned on. I have the 1 and 2 in the on position. I am connected to the DC706. And the DC706 has 12 volt power going in. I am going to go back to that main menu. Alright, we got the E78 is selected. We'll go ahead and hit start. And we're going to go bench mode with the P004. Hit OK. It tells you that this function has to be on the internet. We have our Wi-Fi connected. And then it'll take a few moments. It's going to go online, connect to the server, make sure that we have all the information that we need to get in. Alright, so we're in the main screen. We're going to go ahead and connect to the PCM. Where the functional, in the little function box here, it'll tell us what it's doing, so it's initializing the system. So in the event you have a completely dead PCM, this will let you know that it will not connect to the PCM. We were able to successfully connect. So this is the original. So what we're going to do is we're going to read the internal EEPROM, and we're going to read the internal flash, and we're going to back them up so that we can flash them to the new unit. So go ahead and read the internal EEPROM. Alright, so this is the file that we're going to save. Alright, and then the flash usually takes a little longer to read, so I will pause the video while that goes through and does what it needs to do. The new PCM was already installed on the car, so I'll go ahead and just, I'll more than likely just bench flash it on the car, and yeah, we can go from there. Alright, so we're in the last 4% of reading this flash file. And once it's done, we'll just go ahead and save that. Okay. Alright, so I can go ahead and disconnect here. Alright, shut off the power and disconnect my cables. So we no longer need anything here. I'm going to take this setup over to the vehicle, and I'm going to set up to the PCM that's already installed on the vehicle. We'll back up those OEM files and then flash the files we just saved from the old unit into the new unit. Alright, so I'm on the vehicle. The vehicle has a power maintainer hooked up. I am now using a different 12 volt source, but it is still plugged into the DC706. This is the PCM that was already pre-installed. We got our connections on there, and we are already connected. So what we want to do is this is a brand new OEM AC Delco. It has version files on it. Whenever you come across one of these, you always want to back up these files just in case you ever need a version file. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and read an internal EEPROM. And this file that comes up, I'm just going to modify the name at the end of it and put version. All right, and then we'll do the same thing for the internal flash. Same thing. This will probably take about a good 5-6 minutes to read, and then I'll save the file and add the version extension to the end of it. Once we've backed up both of the original files from this PCM, we'll go ahead and load the internal flash from the original and program the flash first, and then we'll load the internal EEPROM and load the EEPROM second. So the flash is like the operating system, and the EEPROM is the program. So we always want to install the operating system first, and then install the program second. All right, so we're down the last couple of seconds on reading this flash file. So again, I'm going to go all the way to the end and just add the version extension to it. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to load the original flash file. So we're going to go into write internal flash, load external data, and then, so those two are our version files. We want that original flash file. We're going to go ahead and then, writing back, this will, take the 5 to 6 minutes. And then once that's done, we'll load the original EEPROM, which would take about 7 to 8 seconds to write back, and then this job will be done. All right, so we're down to the last 97% of loading our stock original flash file. It probably took about 10 minutes to go ahead and do that full write. All right, so that was written successfully. So what we want to do now is write the internal EEPROM. We're going to load external data. And then this is our EEPROM that we read. Okay. Again, about 6 seconds. So all our writing is done. We can go ahead and disconnect. And then all I got to do is just plug in and see if it starts up. I mean, if it doesn't, they have other issues that they have to diagnose. We know the flash and the EEPROM was successfully written. All right, so on this E78 that I did the clone on, I plugged it into the car, and the check engine light with the down arrow, which I believe is the reduced power error code, not the normal check engine light, but that was on. The car cranked over, it recognized the keys, it pulled the VIN number, everything read, but it would crank and not start. And if I plugged the old original PCM in, the vehicle did run. So I'm just going back over this, and I watched the video because OBDSTAR has the E78 video on YouTube, and when they wrote it, they wrote the EEPROM first and then the flash second. So that's what I just did. You can see at the very top, the internal EEPROM was written successfully, and now I am writing the internal flash. So I'm not sure if if you have to do it in that order, or maybe just my original write didn't work, or possibly this hardware is not correct or no good. I did plug in my Autel IM508 and go into diagnostics, and it gave me error code. I forget exactly what it said, but basically it was saying that something with the hardware was not correct. So I'm going to just go ahead and try to rewrite it, and then I'll plug it in and go back onto the car and try it again. Alright, so we got everything installed back in the car, and this is what we're getting. We're getting a default code of P606. And before we even try to crank over or power or do anything, it's a control module processor performance code, and we cannot clear it. If we try clearing it, it'll just come right back instantly. Alright, so here goes our check engine light down here, but this is the reduced power engine light that I was telling you about. That's the one that's staying on, and if we put the old PCM in, that goes out and the car starts up. So I don't know if it's a bad PCM. I'll try to see if I have another PCM in my inventory and try flashing these files to it to see if it makes a difference. Alright, let's see. Alright, so if I go into the ECM live data, so right here we can see engine speed. And if I crank it, it definitely shows engine speed. So we know the ECU is powered on. We know we're getting a reading. We can see all the different sensors. Alright, so accelerator pedal position, 100%. That's me. I have my foot on the pedal. I'm going to let it go. 0, 30, 100. So we're able to read live data. We're connected. The files are in there. But for whatever reason, it's having a processor issue. And yeah. So, like I said, I'm going to go in my inventory, see if I have another one of these PCMs, flash the files to it, and see if it does anything different. If not, we'll try to flash this PM with the GM SPS, see if that makes any difference. But yeah, no, it recognizes the key. It reads live data, so I'm assuming everything's right. As long as there's no difference between the two PCMs themselves. And this was a GM Genuine Parts PCM, so again, assuming that this is the correct part, not sure what's going on. And then I'm not sure how huge of a difference it makes between this is the new and this is the original. So the original obviously has different part numbers, different service number. So they're both E78s, and like I said, I was able to read the EEPROM and flash from this one and flash it into the other one. And like I said, data logs, I can read live data. The mobilizer information is all correct. I could turn the car over, but I just get ECM processor error as soon as I go to start it up. So yep, I'll do a little bit more research. If you know anything about this, or have run into this problem, or even if you successfully cloned one of these, let me know down in the comments. Let me know how it went. If anyone could point me in the right idea, in the right direction, that would be great. I greatly appreciate it. All right, LakelandCarKeys.com.